General Hospital Early Edition Spoilers. Jason slapped with reality check. Welcome to my channel General Hospital, where you can get news about. For more information, kindly subscribe and follow, and I am your buddy. Now let's get started. General Hospital spoilers find Jason Morgan furious when things take an unexpected turn for him during the week of July 22 to 26, 2024 on GH. Check out the latest spoilers for the ABC opera. General Hospital Early Weekly Spoilers. Jason Morgan in shock. GH Weekly Spoilers showed Jason Morgan stunned when things don't go as he plans. He thinks he's out from under John Jagger Kate's thumb. However, next week, Jagger tells him that couldn't be farther from the truth. Indeed, the FBI agent has no intention of letting Jason off the hook, even though he completed his end of the deal. Later, on General Hospital, Jason gives Anna Devane an update. Most likely, he tells her that Jagger won't honor their deal. Also, Jason seeks out his younger son, Danny Morgan. Then, he gets an offer from someone, perhaps from Jagger. GH Early Edition Spoilers. Anna lashes out. After John Jagger Kate's, Adam Harrington blindsides Jason Morgan, Steve Burton, he faces another person's wrath. Next week, he goes head-to-head with Anna Devane, Finola Hughes, who is livid with him, likely because of how he's treating Jason. It also likely involves Valentin Cassadine, James Patrick Stewart, who is nowhere to be found on General Hospital. Then, Laura Spencer Collins, Jenny Francis, turns to Anna for help finding Valentin. Later, Jagger pressures Ava Jerome, Maura West, who is busy strategizing with her attorney, Scott Baldwin, Ken Schreiner. They're determined to win their lawsuit against Sonny Corinthos, Maurice Bernard. Then, Jagger makes a risky decision while Anna follows her instincts. Later, Anna is approached by legal shark, Diane Miller, Carolyn Hennessy, who delivers a warning. General Hospital Weekly Spoilers. Willow struggles with her guilt. Elsewhere, Willow Tate, Caitlin McMullen, drowns in guilt on GH. She's tempted to tell her husband, Michael Corinthos, Chad Duell, about her kiss with Drew Kane, Cameron Matheson. Later, she and Nina Reeves, Cynthia Watrous, put their heads together. Then Nina bargains with someone. Meanwhile, on General Hospital, Michael meets with his father, Sonny, who has a request. But things get heated. After that, Sonny meets up with Carly Corinthos Spencer, Laura Wright. Then, Carly considers her options. Also, Michael and his sister, Christina Corinthos, Kate Mancy, discuss their family issues. Later, Sonny is irate and goes on a rampage. Most likely, Ova pushes him over the edge. She's trying to make him spiral out in public, so he looks like an unfit parent, and chances are it works. GH is wildly dramatic and intense next week. Don't miss a minute to see how Jason Morgan handles Jagger on the ABC Suds Fest. Port Charles was a city where secrets lurked in the shadows and alliances shifted like quicksand. It was a place where the past never stayed buried, and the future was always uncertain. In this city of intrigue and drama, Jason Morgan, the stoic enforcer of the Corinthos crime family, was about to face a reality check that would shake him to his core. Jason had always been a man of few words, his loyalty unwavering, and his resolve unbreakable. He was a protector, a warrior, and a man who lived by a code. But even the strongest men have their limits, and Jason was about to discover his. Chapter 1. The Echoes of the Past. The sun was just beginning to rise over Port Charles, casting a golden glow over the city. Jason stood on the docks, the cool breeze ruffling his hair. He had spent many mornings here, watching the water and reflecting on his life. But today was different. Today, the weight of his past felt heavier than ever. As he gazed out at the water, memories of his life before the accident flooded his mind. He remembered being Jason Quartermain, a young man with a bright future ahead of him. But all that had changed in an instant. The accident had taken his identity, his memories, and left him as Jason Morgan, a man who lived in the shadows. Jason's thoughts were interrupted by the sound of footsteps approaching. He turned to see Carly Corinthos, his best friend and confidant, walking towards him. Her expression was a mix of concern and determination. "Jason, we need to talk," Carly said, her voice tinged with urgency. Jason nodded, knowing that when Carly said they needed to talk, it was never good news. Back at the Corinthos mansion, Jason and Carly sat in the living room, the tension in the air palpable. Carly took a deep breath before speaking. "There's someone in town who wants to see you," Carly began. "Someone from your past." Jason's brow furrowed in confusion. "Who?" Carly hesitated, then said, "It's Robin." Robin Scorpio, Jason's first love, had been a constant presence in his life during his early years as Jason Morgan. They had shared a deep bond, one that had been tested by time and circumstance. The news of her return filled Jason with a mix of hope and dread. "Why is she here?" Jason asked, trying to keep his emotions in check. "She says she has something important to tell you," Carly replied. "Something about your past." Jason's mind raced. What could Robin possibly know about his past that he didn't already? And why was she bringing it up now, after all these years? Jason met Robin at Kelly's, a place that held many memories for both of them. As they sat across from each other, Jason could see the worry in Robin's eyes. "Jason, I know this is hard to believe," Robin began, "but there's something you need to know about your past." Jason's heart pounded in his chest. "What is it?" Robin took a deep breath. "There was a time, right after your accident, when the doctors weren't sure if you would ever wake up. During that time, your family made a difficult decision. They had your body cloned, hoping that if you didn't recover, they could somehow bring you back." Jason stared at Robin in disbelief. "A clone? That's impossible." "I know it sounds crazy," Robin said, "but it's true. The clone, he looks just like you. He has your memories, your skills, everything. But he's not you, Jason. He's a copy." Jason felt like the ground had been pulled out from under him. Everything he thought he knew about himself, his life, was being called into question. "Why are you telling me this now?" Jason asked, his voice trembling with emotion. "Because the clone has escaped," Robin replied, "and he's in Port Charles." Jason couldn't believe what he was hearing. A clone of himself, out there somewhere, living his life, carrying his memories. It was surreal, like something out of a science fiction movie. But this was his reality now, and he had to deal with it. "We need to find him," Jason said, determination hardening his voice, "before he causes any more damage." Robin nodded. "I've already started looking into it, but we need to be careful. If the wrong people find out about this, it could be dangerous for everyone involved." Jason knew she was right. The existence of a clone could have far-reaching consequences, not just for him, but for everyone he cared about. Days turned into weeks as Jason and Robin worked tirelessly to track down the clone. They followed every lead, every whisper, until finally they got a break. The clone had been spotted at a safe house on the outskirts of Port Charles. Jason and Robin approached the safe house cautiously, their nerves on edge. As they entered, they found themselves face to face with the clone. It was like looking into a mirror, but the reflection was twisted, corrupted. "Who are you?" Jason demanded, his voice filled with anger and confusion. The clone smirked. "I'm you, Jason, or at least I was supposed to be, but now I'm free." "Free to do what?" Jason asked, his fists clenched at his sides. "Free to live my own life," the clone replied. "But I can't do that with you around." Jason realized then that the clone saw him as a threat to his newfound freedom. And he knew that this confrontation was going to end one way or another. The confrontation quickly escalated into a physical fight. Jason and the clone were evenly matched, each move mirrored by the other. It was like fighting himself, but with a darker edge. As they fought, Jason couldn't help but feel a sense of pity for the clone. He hadn't asked to be created, to be thrust into a life that wasn't his. But pity wouldn't save him now. He had to end this for the sake of his own sanity and for the safety of those he loved. Finally, with one last, powerful strike, Jason subdued the clone. As he lay on the ground, defeated, the clone looked up at Jason with a mixture of anger and desperation. "You'll never be free of me," the clone hissed. "I'll always be a part of you." Jason shook his head. "No, you're just a shadow, and shadows fade." With that, Jason walked away, leaving the clone to be dealt with by the authorities. In the days that followed, Jason tried to process everything that had happened. The revelation about his past, the existence of the clone, the battle that had nearly cost him his life. It was a lot to take in, but he knew he had to move forward. He met with Robin one last time before she left town. They sat in the park. The sun